What's going on, everybody? I hope you've all had a fantastic Thursday and you're enjoying your late Thursday night. This is NYG Jeffy T85 here, and I talked about yesterday about Saquon Barkley and him being one of the two players mentioned on why he will not be participating at offseason workouts starting on the 17th. Well, there's another player that will not be at the offseason workouts as well, but it's looking more likely that this player will end up getting themselves that long-term extension by sometime this offseason, and that, of course, is defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. Obviously, we look at the defensive tackle position and how much that position has been so active in terms of the amount of money being spent right now, this specific offseason. As you've seen guys like DaRon Payne from the Washington Commanders, as well as Jeffrey Simmonds from the Tennessee Titans, just re-up on major deals this offseason for their respective teams. And you've also seen Javon Hargrave signed a massive deal over in free agency with the San Francisco 49ers. Right now, the two defensive tackles that are going to be the next ones to get paid are going to be Dexter Lawrence and, of course, New York Jets defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. They're the next two right now on the list of potentially getting major extensions in the very near future. But it doesn't make any sense. And the real big difference between Dexter Lawrence's situation and Saquon Barkley. One, Dexter Lawrence is on that fifth-year option. And also, it's going to be easier for them to negotiate that deal. And number two, Giants seem very eager right now to be looking at an extension for Dexter Lawrence. Whereas Saquon Barkley, it looks like they had an extension on the table with Barkley, but it looks like that the team decided to pull the offer towards the when Saquon Barkley was looking for more money, and the Giants looked like they weren't very interested in signing Saquon Barkley to a long-term deal. And right now, you go by what you want to hear. Reports are saying that Saquon Barkley right now doesn't want to play on the franchise tag, and the Giants right now have no interest in signing Saquon Barkley long term. But in the case of Dexter Lawrence, I'm not worried about Dexter Lawrence, and I agree with what Art Stapleton of NewJersey.com said. Why would put one of your best defensive players, if not your best defensive player, out there on the field and take a chance of him getting hurt in an off-season workout in April? It's a much different situation with Dexter Lawrence than it is with Saquon Barkley. Number one being, Saquon Barkley is a running back. Dexter Lawrence, defensive tackle. Right now, the defensive tackle position is getting its money. It's become more of a priority in terms of off-season, what teams are doing in the off-season and signing their long-term deals. Whereas right now, you have the other way around with the running back position. I mean, like I mentioned, you have guys like DaRon Payne, Jeffrey Simmonds, and Javon Hargrave that are all making around $20 million or more per season in their latest contracts they signed. Whereas you look at the running back market this offseason, and you had a lot of prime guys out there. Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, Saquon Barkley. All of them had the franchise tag placed on them, and it's a good chance, if possible, all three of them could be playing on the franchise tag this year. And then you look at the other two running backs that were major free agents besides those three. Kareem Hunt is still a free agent, and the Cleveland Browns are putting feelers out there that they don't believe that Kareem Hunt is anywhere near the player he was before, and they believe that he's lost a step or two on the football field. And then you look at a guy like Miles Sanders, who is the only running back right now out of that entire group that has gotten a long-term extension, but he did not get the type of money that he might have been looking for when he was going into the offseason. He only got paid $8 to $9 million, whereas the defensive tackle position right now in the NFL has more value than the running back position. It's unfortunately the name of the game. It is no slight towards Saquon Barkley at all. And it might be a very good situation for Dexter Lawrence. So while both players are going to be holding out, I believe it's more of a situation with Dexter Lawrence that the team would rather have Lawrence not go out there and potentially get himself hurt. Whereas with Saquon Barkley, I think he's legit holding out because he doesn't want to play on that franchise tag, and I think he wants to get that long-term security because if you look at the two positions, the position that has the bigger risk of injury and has the shorter lifespan in terms of play on the football field and length of a career in football, the running back position obviously is way more devalued than the defensive tackle position. So you have two of your biggest stars that won't be participating on the April 17th workouts, but for my opinion, I believe in two very big different reasons on why it's not happening. Dexter Lawrence is going to get his deal. Dexter Lawrence is going to get paid. Saquon Barkley, that's a different story. We'll have to wait until that bridge is crossed. It's very, very possible Barkley is going to be playing his 1-year deal, and then if he ends up playing well again, maybe the Giants think about negotiating a long-term deal, or they can end up using Saquon Barkley as a trade chip. You have to think about that too, for a rental. Whereas Dexter Lawrence, there's every single indication Dexter Lawrence is going to be here long term. I would be shocked if Dexter Lawrence is not signed to a contract extension, especially with the rate the defensive tackle position is going right now for the NFL and how these defensive tackles are all getting paid in docs. Don't be shocked if you get a Dexter Lawrence contract extension either right before the draft, around the week of the draft, or you get a Dexter Lawrence extension right after the draft. That's where I'm targeting, and when you're going to get that extension for Dexter Lawrence. Saquon Barkley, that's a different story. Right now, both sides seems like Barkley's camp is more eager to try to look at a long-term extension than the Giants are right now, but you have plenty of time to go from April all the way until July to open up that negotiating window, get back out there and try to negotiate yourself a long-term deal to keep both Lawrence and Barkley in blue for the next few years. But I'd say right now, there's two very distinctive differences between Saquon Barkley and Dexter Lawrence and why each of them will not be participating at this offseason workout on April 17th. Much different reasons. And as a fan, you can feel how you feel. You can feel differently, but it just makes so much more sense that the Giants seem like they want Dexter here long term. Because the positional value, whether you agree, whether you disagree, whether you vehemently think that Barkley should get his money and that Dexter Lawrence should get his money as well, the defensive tackle position has more value in the NFL, unfortunately, than the running back position. But two prominent players won't be at offseason workouts. Two different reasons why they won't be at offseason workouts. But at the same time, we'll have to wait and see if the New York Giants are eventually going to get back to the negotiating table and try to see if they can work out a long-term deal and get it done with both Dexter Lawrence and Saquon Barkley and see if both these guys will remain in blue past the 2023 season. Because Dexter Lawrence is playing on the 5th-year option right now, and Saquon Barkley is playing on the franchise tag. So if both of them don't negotiate a long-term deal, they will both be unrestricted free agents after 2023. And I don't see any way the Giants are going to let either one of these, especially Lawrence, go. But let me know in the comment section what you think about this discussion. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and give a sub to NYGJeffyT85 for more news updates and chatter surrounding the New York Giants. And, of course, turn on that bell for notifications of the next video we're sure dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Giants. And you guys let me know in the comment section what you think about the news of Dexter Lawrence also not attending off-season workouts. And if you believe that his situation is a lot different than the one that Saquon Barkley is going to be having, as both players will not be at off-season workouts, but for very distinctive differences. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Take it easy, and as always, let's go New York Football Giants. Together blue, everyone.